Welcome back. IT major IBM has partnered with the government of Andhra Pradesh and TCS as part of its push to build a robust quantum ecosystem in India. In an exclusive conversation with Shereen Bhan, Managing Director of IBM's operations in India and South Asia, Sandip Patel explained why the company continues to be bullish on India.
We've obviously continued to progress on our strategy around hybrid cloud AI. In addition, I think since last year, we have announced a series of different partnerships, MOUs and so on. But more markedly, I think the announcement that we've done with government of Andhra Pradesh to land a leading edge quantum machine, IBM quantum machine in India, in Amravati. That has been one of the key highlights where we hope to work with Andhra Pradesh as well as TCS to build a very vibrant quantum ecosystem as that technology continues to progress and develop and really shape the face of computing around the world, not just India, but around the world. Secondly, I think we have continued to work both with the government as well as private enterprises to continue to move forward the whole agenda around AI. A few weeks ago, we announced a partnership with BharatGen, which is a startup out of IIT Mumbai that is focused on building Indic language models. And they are leveraging know-how from IBM research labs, including our AI tools, to accelerate that development. And then most markedly today, we announced a partnership with Bharti Airtel to augment Airtel's cloud, Airtel Cloud, with leading edge IBM cloud stack capabilities to truly offer a hybrid cloud offering in India for regulated industries that serves both data residency requirements as well as regulated requirements for India.
Well, Sandip, there's a bunch of things that you've spoken to us about, but let me pick up on the quantum ecosystem in Andhra Pradesh that you are hoping to build out along with TCS and, of course, the government there. Andhra Pradesh clearly has emerged as the hot spot. We just had that $15 billion announcement coming in from Google. So explain to me what this quantum bet for IBM will mean in terms of investments, in terms of hiring, and what are we talking about in terms of timelines of building out this quantum ecosystem?
We are working against a very aggressive timeline to make sure that we bring this quantum system up and running in Amravati by early part of 2026. Work is already underway to prepare the infrastructure that's required to land the machine. But as is true with any technology, the proof will be in both what we do with skilling, which we are continuing to do not just in Andhra Pradesh, but around India in the area of quantum skilling and development of Qiskit capabilities, which is the quantum programming language, but also how we start to build out a very vibrant ecosystem for people to use quantum in a meaningful way. Very recently, you may have seen a global announcement that we did where HSBC is starting to see some very promising results from their use of IBM quantum computing for bond trading algorithms. Recently, Vanguard also is starting to look at using quantum for portfolio optimization. And so as some of these problems that today are not getting solved by traditional computing, they start to see applications in quantum, we see that this will create a very vibrant ecosystem and a whole set of algorithms and use cases that can be progressed in India, for India, and the world.
You gave us examples of Vanguard and HSBC, etc. I mean, quant trading is something that the market is quite familiar with. Are you seeing a faster pace of adoption across, for instance, the BFSI space as far as quant is concerned?
I think BFSI has probably been one of the leading industries in terms of experimenting with quantum. I think, as I've always maintained, quantum in probably becoming mainstream is still probably a few years out. But clearly, as an industry, financial services industry has been at the forefront of experimenting with quantum and building algorithms. I think the other area that we are seeing some interesting quantum use cases is in the area of drug discovery in the pharmaceutical space, as well as in mineral exploration and others.
What are you seeing in terms of growth here in the Indian market on account of AI?
So clearly AI, I think I've shared this with you, adoption, if we look at the adoption index survey that we've done, and we continue to sort of update that, Indian enterprises lead the way in terms of experimenting with AI. So I think at this point, there's approximately 85+% of Indian enterprises that talk about experimenting with AI. The scaling is still not quite there. It's probably more in the 27 to 30% range. But I think as we continue to start to see startups, compute power becoming more available, the advent of smaller language models becoming more relevant, I think we will continue to see adoption at scale. Now, as you know, I'm not going to talk about hard investment dollars, but we continue to invest in India as a growth market, as a strategic market in the areas that we are continuing to build out. So we are continuing to build out our capabilities with our software labs, research labs, systems labs, and most importantly, I think we've announced that we will be opening up the 7th software lab in Lucknow later this year.
You know, you talked about your 7th software lab, Sandip. Let me also talk to you about your Agentic AI Innovation Center in Bengaluru, and take me through what we can expect in terms of work that's being done there.
The Agentic AI Center and the COE that we have announced in Bengaluru, that is an extension of our software labs, but it also brings together a forum for co-creation, ideation with our clients to really continue to build out more agents in the AI space that can then serve as a way to drive this technology more and more for automation in the enterprise.
But what's the pace of growth that you're registering now in India on the back of the many initiatives that you spoke of?
So we clearly, I think, continue to mirror the double-digit growth rate that we have been experiencing over the last few years, and we try to stay ahead of market growth in a meaningful way.
Okay, Sandip, you know, I want to get you in on the debate that's currently raging, something that Sridhar Rimbu here spoke to me about as well, the Swadeshi tech awakening. You know, what do you make of that? What do you also make of the idea and the suggestion that GCCs, Global Capability Centers, should actually be taxed on the profits that they derive from the innovations done in India, that the IP should be registered in India? What is your comment to this debate that is now starting to pick up momentum?
So I actually commend the government towards its march towards becoming Atmanirbhar and actually building policy and capabilities that are built in India, for India, and then ultimately could be used for the world. And so that progression that the government is driving, I commend them for doing that. And I think that is something that every responsible economy should be looking at.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV18 on all the social media platforms.